It's Saturday, the 26th of March. It's 6 o'clock, and this is the 10 Radio notice board.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We have a slightly different format for today's show. We have a brand new feature beginning today, which will be a regular part of the show on the last Saturday of each month. Richard Bexx, parapsychologist and medium, is in the studio, and he'll be answering questions on a wide range of subjects, from interpreting your dreams, the paranormal, and what the future might hold for you. As I said at the top of the show, we've got a new feature today, and we have in the studio with us at the moment Richard Bexx. Hello, Richard.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, not bad. Yourself? Yes,
very well, thank you. And you're here in your profession as a medium. Can I have in just 15 seconds a quick resume of what you are and what you do?
Okay, I'm a fledgling medium, but mainly a healer, but I've been sensitive and so on the spiritual path for about 10 years now, and a retreat in Bridgewater, and just been searching, exploring and teaching and helping lots of other people. It's what I enjoy doing.
Lovely. Okay, well, we've got several people that have already got in touch with the show and want to speak to you.
Sure.
So for about 6:15 we will be introducing you again.
Okay.
Okay, but we're going to play some music, and the first track is a lovely track by Norah Jones, and this is Nightingale. Okay, it's nearly time for our medium, Richard Bexx, and this bit of music is actually taken from a program in America called Medium, and I've never heard of it. And Richard, have you heard of this program, Medium?
Never heard of it, actually, no.
It was to do apparently with some detectives in America, like sort of NCIS, I think they call it,
okay,
where they employed this medium to get them to ask the medium to try and sort of use her powers to find out where a particular body was or something like that. And it was quite popular apparently. It went for 8 series, quite a few years, about 10 or 15 years.
Okay.
And as I say, it was quite popular. So we're going to call up the first person in a minute. We're going to call Isabel in a couple of minutes and speak to her and find out. I believe that she does writing. She does spiritual writing. She
okay,
heads up a group called Inspiration, and I actually made contact with her through Facebook, and I know that she wants to talk to you about how she can improve her writing.
Brilliant.
And hopefully get some more information from you. Okay, what we'll do then is I think I'll ask you, because we can't get hold of Isabel. Isabel does some spiritual writing, and she wants to know if there's any advice you can give her that will help her improve her writing, and how she can make contact with people of a similar ilk to
Sure,
improve her writing as well.
Sure, definitely. There's many ways. Basically, writing and spiritual writing is something called channeling. So it's about like emptying your mind and allowing all different types of words to come through. And I'm sure she meditates, but if she doesn't, then this is something she should be getting into.
Okay.
And just going to very, very deep states of meditation, and just no music, just really emptying your mind and just really clearing your mind, and just having a pen and like a pad and paper, and just taking whatever flows, and just and even if you think it hard to start off with, just keep writing, and you'll be surprised what will flow, what will come through you. And I'm sure she knows about guides and that. If you ask your spirit guides, just ask for help.
So spirit guides, tell me about spirit guides.
Spirit guides, basically, they are like our best friends, but in like a spirit form. They help us with our soul work, our plans to do, like karma, and just things how we've planned to come here and do. And they're like the leaders, because we're a bit blindfolded in this reality. Okay. So they come here and they help just sort of steer us a little bit, and that's where our intuition comes from.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've all got a spiritual guide, have we?
Yeah, we have. Some people have maybe one that's very in contact with, or they might have a big group of guides. Depends on what sort of work they do. So
who decides how many guides you've got? Is it the guides that decide that, or is it yourself that decides that?
I believe that when we all came here to live this life, we all planned it out, and we made like commitments and arrangements with, say, other beings to say, can you be my guide? I need this help. And they'll commit to it and say, yes, I will. And that's where these guides come from, because you're like on the other side, or heaven, or whatever you want to call it. We're all just spiritual beings there, and just coming here on earth it's a place of learning, and we're here to learn, and when we do that is through many different occurrences.
So if I could just quickly sum up, try and sort of get in touch with the spiritual guide, relax as much as possible, and meditate as much as possible.
Sure.
Perhaps keep a pad by the side of the bed, so that if you wake up in the morning, or when you're walking around.
Sure.
Okay.
And just keep a pen and pad with you all the time, and just go for walks and that, and just keep asking, and you'll be surprised what'll come for you.
Okay. Well, we've now got. Let's see who we got on the line now. Hello. Who have we got on the line? Hello. Hello. Who have we got on the line?
It's Chris.
Oh, hi, Chris. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Chigwell in Essex. I don't know if you know Essex.
Well, not very well. No, I actually know Essex quite well, and it's good to hear you, Chris. And how can we help you?
Who am I talking to?
You're talking to
PJ Lennon.
PJ Lennon.
Wow. Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I enjoy. I've got to say, I really enjoy your programs.
Well, that's very.
Unfortunately, I missed. You had Doug Davis interviewed, didn't you?
No, not yet. We're looking to see if we can get Dave Davis, but unfortunately we haven't.
I enjoyed Julian Dix. When was that on? A little while ago,
that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Excellent, good. So how can we help you, Chris?
When's the Dave Davis one on?
Oh, it'll be a few weeks' time, I would think.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. I thought I'd missed it.
Okay. How can we help you? We've got Richard here. What would you like to ask Richard?
Well, it's a little bit off the spiritual thing. It's more, I quite often see unexplained lights in the sky, and it's not a spiritual question as such, And I just wonder whether he'd had any experience in this.
Yeah, I've heard this before. This phenomena by a friend who he got into the spiritual path, as you say, and he thought there was something wrong with his eyesight, so he went to the opticians, and he found out there was nothing wrong with his eyesight. It was perfectly fine, and these anomalies that he was seeing were just basically spirits, but very quick light forms, as many different types of like souls, as you call it. If you've heard of rods and orbs, there's also many other sort of genres of sort of light anomalies, and there's things in the sky, and not just UFOs. That's something that people get mistaken for. Also, it's just like natural occurring sort of
these lights. See, people, whenever they talk about UFOs and that, they talk about bright lights in the sky, but these are more like lights that are saying, "Don't look at me,"
Right.
They're lights that almost try and hide if you can understand that,
Yeah, sure.
It's when you grow accustomed to seeing them that you do see them. Because you know what you're looking for.
So how often do you see them, Chris?
Well, I work in Chingford, and I look across Tottenham, and they're always over the Tottenham area, but also I see them over the North Weald area, and North Weald has got an aerodrome, you see, but they're not aeroplanes, so I'd just be very interested if anyone else in the Tottenham area or anything has got any sort of similar sort of experiences to this and could put an answer to it,
Yeah.
So what do you think they are?
Me?
Oh, sorry.
Is Chris or
Me
well, both of you, really, I suppose.
Well, you go ahead of Chris, and what do you think they are?
You see, the thing is, the ones that I see, quite often I see them when it's cloudy, and they do emit different coloured lights. You'll have red lights, and then they'll go above the clouds, and then the edge of the cloud will sort of, you'll get a bright red flash where it's above it. Now this, to me, almost makes me think that they must be some sort of nuts and bolts craft, but I can't say that for certain because I've never seen any sort of shape to them. All I ever see is the lights.
But you're pretty sure they're above the clouds then?
Yeah, they're above the clouds because they sort of disappear into the cloud, and then I see, like, quite often you'll see what looks like a sort of a red flash, or you might get a purple flash from what I assume is the back of it. But then you see it might not be it may be more of an ethereal thing than an actual nuts and bolts thing,
Interesting. Well, what I think that what's happening is just I don't know if you're spiritually minded and open-minded, etc. But it's just what I feel is that your guides around you are just sort of trying to make you more aware of things in your life, and just keep going with that. And
what do you think along the lines of different dimensions and that? Is that
Yeah, I think so. It could be part of that also, because you could be tuning into sort of different dimensions there. But I feel majorly what the answer is I feel that your guides are trying to get you to be more open and really flow with that. And you don't have to be a spiritual person at all. You can just accept it and just be open-minded,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it'd be just interesting to see if there's anyone out there who has got sort of a similar experience and got an answer to it,
I'm sure that we'll get some people contacting us and giving us if they've had any experiences of these. But that's a very, very good point you make, Chris. That and I do take Richard's point about spiritual guides and everything, but it's a very good point you make about different dimensions, which could well be another reason for it. But thank you very much for your call, Chris, and really, sort of keep in touch.
Yeah,
and we'd like to hear from you again, and we're back on air in a month's time.
It's been a privilege talking to you, PJ.
Well, thank you very much, and it's been a privilege talking to you.
So it's been very nice talking to you.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so that was a very interesting conversation there. And we've now been joined by Leslie Power from An Hour with Power with her studio manager Zoe. Hello, Leslie.
Hi, PJ, alright?
And say it again.
Hi, PJ, alright?
That's better, because I put the mic up then.
You forgot.
And hello, Zoe.
Hi.
Okay, so I understand that you'd like to talk to Richard.
That's correct, yeah. Basically, I've sat in development circle myself.
Sure.
Obviously, I had personal issues going on. Now, the house we've moved into is there's a lot of spirits around, and I just wondered why. Is it because they know I've been at development circle? Is it because they know I could go that way? Why are they drawn to me, sort of thing?
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
What's a development circle?
It's where you basically can go and develop your abilities and learn to channel the spirits and
it's
stuff.
like a gym for your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, fair enough.
So, did you do the development circle in your home?
No, it was over in Wellington with a lady I met through Spiritual Church.
Oh, okay.
In Taunton.
What I feel is that if you've done this at the development circle in where you've done it and not your home, often those souls from, say, your home have come into the circle where you do it, and so they followed you back, and that's what I feel. So I feel it's all good stuff, but I think it's just like they're wanting just to have answers.
Yeah.
So perhaps if you're still in this circle, go back and just open up and
I haven't
ask.
been for a while, and since I was sat in circle, we've moved, so it's a completely different house, and the next door neighbours said that they've had things going on and stuff. So
sure. What you can do is try and get into a circle, or either go back for one day and just try and release them, because I feel they just want some answers, really.
Yeah, I was thinking about going back anyway. It's about that time, so
sure, go for it.
Thank you.
So when you go to the development circle, because it's something that is completely new to me.
Sure.
What do you do? Do you talk to like-minded people and just discuss like-minded things, and is it like an open discussion, or do you go there with a particular agenda to try and open your mind?
When I went, you did meet like-minded people that were exploring that sort of avenue and stuff, and it's basically we sat and did meditation and stuff like that, and just whatever came through, then we sort of discussed it in a group sort of thing. So yeah, it's really interesting. I used to get a lot of stuff through.
And you're going to go back, are you, and sort of re-explore this?
Hopefully, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Is that something you would say is a good thing to do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're still having problems, I don't feel it's bad problems at all. It's just stuff's happening, and it's just like.
Yeah, I get the feeling it's more that they're just want to know what's going on and stuff. Than,
because once you've opened yourself up in a circle,
you're like this
being,
Sorry, Richard.
It's all right.
Do you get frightened?
No, only when I wake up and see something stood over me, then it frightens me.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've had it a couple of times. Once in this house and once in a very, very old house that we used to live in. So
I've known people, and I was attached to one person that must have had some sort of spiritual sort of aura or whatever it is around them, because we had a friend who was going through a bad time, and she woke me up one morning at 3 o'clock and she said, I really feel that something bad has happened. 2 minutes later the phone rang and our friend had just died.
Yeah.
So she obviously had sort of tapped in to something like that.
Sure, we've all got this, like, say, Wi-Fi link, with people, and it's just so fast. It's faster than light, and just it's just when you can think all these different thoughts in your mind. That's how fast it is. And when you build up a sort of relationship with people, either friendship or whatever, you have that really strong that link, that psychic link that you build up.
We've had an email in. Do you mind if I ask this email? From somebody called Joe. Does Richard believe that as we get closer to 2012, people's minds are opening up, and what does he think will happen in 2012, as there are a lot of theories going around?
Yeah, sure, I've heard this a lot. People always ask this question because it's something that's quite big. What's actually happening at the moment, which I know, is that our galaxy, if you know what the galaxy looks like, it's a spiral galaxy, and all these big clusters of stars, and then there's a space, and then there's clusters of stars. And at the moment, we're in sort of this non-star sort of gap. And so everything's just really fastly moving and speeding up. And so we're actually in this 2012 now, that when we come to 2012, that's when the time is finished. Like we're into sort of the really built up sort of energy phase again. And so what's happening now is that you're seeing all this sort of earth changes, just things are happening, and it's some terrible news out there, but it's all for the good, because it's like Earth is like replenishing itself, like a big detox almost.
We've actually now got Isabel on the line. Hello, Isabel.
Hello, hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, I'm glad we were able to get hold of you. I'm going to hand you across to Richard. Richard, it's Isabel.
Hello, Isabel.
Thank you, hello, hi.
Hi.
Would you like to ask Richard your question?
Yes, I've just come into some new healing power.
Okay.
And I am a singer. That's my big tool.
Sure.
And I wondered what information you might pick up on the best is a weird word, the most appropriate way to use that energy.
Okay, so when you say this new healing energy, what is it that you're experiencing and feeling?
Like nothing else I've experienced before. Yeah, I was in a cinema the other day,
okay.
And I often kind of purify the energy through breathing when I'm in a space with lots of people. And it was the King's Speech film, and suddenly the last part of the speech, when he was talking about God, my entire body kind of exploded into an enormous space of peace, extraordinary.
Brilliant.
And just lasted to the end of the speech, and then it went back just to being me normal again, and I had to those funny breathing again.
Okay.
Kind of went to the car and cried, so I can see that something quite strange and interesting and enormous is happening.
So you want to learn how to develop this, do you, and sort of sort of remove the rough edges, and so that you can actually use it for a benefit, if you like?
Yes, I think most of the rough edges are removed in me actually now, because I've been working so intensely.
Okay.
But it's about focus. I mean, I'm very good at following my intuition and so on. And yet I know it's also wonderful if there's someone who can see things.
Yeah.
To see things that I won't be able to see.
But I know that what I'm feeling is that our guides, etc., and even ourselves, we're given these sort of snippets of like experiences that really help boost us and our sort of sort of path and keep us on track, because sometimes people can sort of sway off a bit and they're not feeling anything, and so experiences like this that happen, it's like, wow, this is true, and this is the path I've got to follow. So whatever you're feeling, just keep going with whatever you got, and if your intuition is good, which I feel it is, just keep going with that, keep meditating and keep asking, and if you want to experience more of that experience, that healing power that you've had, the best thing to do is go back and see where it all started for you, and when it's happened in those situations, and just keep flowing with that, and keep, and if it's always good for good positive intentions to help people, that'll just keep building and building up.
It always happens without me intending anything. In fact, it's very spontaneous. So I wondered just whether you'd pick up anything more specific, because what you said is what I do.
Sure.
I don't know how you work in terms of tuning into specific information.
Well, everyone tunes in to their own different way, really. So I'm probably much different than yourself. But
is it something you have to learn, Richard?
It's something that you have to tune into and learn. It takes a long time, because it's like going to the gym, like say the development circle. It's you don't see an improvement after one day. You see a big improvement, say after 5 months, and just that dedication. You've got to keep going. And I'm sure whatever you're asking for, whatever you want, it will happen.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So are you have you received the sort of information and advice that you feel you wanted, Isabel?
I haven't received anything I didn't know.
Okay.
But it's quite nice sometimes to just share a statement, to put it in the public realm, and to say this is now what's happening.
Brilliant.
Well, I
think that brings its own little bit of power, I think.
Of course, and I wish you all the best, and I hope to speak to you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isabel.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Richard.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
TJ. Bye.
So, that was quite interesting. Somebody that's developed healing powers. So, is that something that you come across on a regular basis?
Yeah, so I've been in contact with quite a lot of people who have had experiences, or it's not just healing, it's mediumship, many other different experiences also I can go into. But say everyone's got their own different path here, everyone is unique like themselves but different like everybody else, and so we're all here to create this harmonic world together.
Okay, we're going to speak to Naomi in a minute, but before we do that, can I ask you, I've been asked by Ruth to ask you some questions.
Sure.
She said, why are only certain people psychic? Is it a special gift, or can anyone develop it?
It is a gift in a way, because if you know much about reincarnation, we've all planned this life that we've come here to do, and so we've all been chosen to play different parts, like in a big soap. We're all actors on a stage. So some people will choose to come into a life and just be closed-minded and just not feel anything, because that's what they want. And it's like some people who are craving for sort of spiritual and psychic experiences, they will develop it. So anyone can develop, any sort of psychic experiences, healing abilities. Again, it's like anything, the more you put your mind to it, the more it'll happen.
Excellent. Okay, well look, I've got a couple of more questions from different people.
Sure.
But I think we've got Naomi on the line now. Hello, Naomi.
Hello, are you alright?
Hello, how are you? You're through to Richard.
Oh, I'm very well, thank you, and it's great to be able to talk to you both this evening. Hi, Richard.
Lovely.
Hello, Naomi.
Hiya. I've got a couple of questions for you, really. I was just wondering, how being a medium's affected your life, because it's such a huge thing, isn't it?
So I'm still a fledgling medium and healer mainly, but I do tune in and pick up on things, so I'm still developing myself. But say all this sort of happened when I was, say, 15 to 16, and just my own sort of path and self-discovery. And before that, I was always a bit of a loner at school, never really fitted in, and so nothing's really changed for me, but I've always been sort of a solitary person. So for me, I found more happiness, in myself, and just this exploring and travelling, really.
Yeah. I mean, when was it that you realised that you had a gift that meant that you could heal?
My first experience when I was younger, my mum had a bad back, and I must be about 7 or 8 years old, and she couldn't go upstairs to her bedroom, so she had to lay on my bed. And if you know much about healing and hands-on healing, I went to put my hands on her, but she sort of went, "Oh no, don't touch me, it's going to make it worse." And I knew instinctively that I could help her, but I couldn't at the time, because I didn't really knew what I was doing. and just seen various spirits when I was younger, and it sort of wore off a little bit and then got stronger again. Yeah.
So that's interesting, that, isn't it, Naomi, that Richard sort of learnt that when he was very young, and has sort of developed that. Have you got any, do you think you've got any spiritual sort of healing or paranormal abilities or anything, Naomi?
No, I wouldn't say so, but I'm very interested in it, and I'd love to know where Richard thinks he gets that power and that energy from to heal.
Well, what we'll do after the show, if you want, we'll give you Richard's contact details, and please feel free to contact him. And again, don't forget that at the moment we're on with Richard once a month. If we get enough people ringing us up, then we'll come on every couple of weeks, but once a month. And if you would like to speak to Richard, please be our guest, and if you'd like to stay on the line, we'll give you the details and everything.
That'd be great.
But it's lovely to hear from you, Naomi, and keep well, and we'll speak very, very soon.
I will. Cheers.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, so what we'll do now is we've got 3 minutes left of your very, very precious time, Richard.
Thanks.
I'm just going to ask a couple more questions.
Sure.
Again, Ruth, she says she believes in reincarnation, but the scientific world says that it's all down to memories that the brain stores from books we read, films we see, and different events in our lives. But what do you think?
Well, I think probably that is a little bit right, because I think there's a sort of bit of truth in everything. So some people could be relating to experience that they've had in a past life, but because they've seen it in films and movies, it's sort of released something that's dormant, old memories, and they think, wow, I remember this, and it's come sort of true. And
a bit like deja vu or something like that.
A little bit like that, yeah. So they're sort of reliving the experience, and they think, yeah, I remember being there. So I think half and half is true. I think some people, I know for myself also, that I've had sort of flashbacks of past lives that haven't seen in movies or anything. But yeah, I think both are equally truthful.
I suppose if you're a skeptic, then you'll question it all the time.
Yeah, sure.
If you're not a skeptic, I suppose you'll still question it.
Yeah.
But will you accept it more if you're not a skeptic? That's one we'll leave in the air.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so she's got one more question. Do you believe that we choose the lives we live before we were born, or is it pot luck?
Definitely. I think we absolutely choose the lives that we want, and I think when I say choose, I mean that we have sort of stepping stones to where we want to go, and we choose those experiences, but on the way there's free will. We can go off different directions, but we all in the end have to step on the stepping stones and get to where we want. So before we come here in physical reality on Earth, that we've pretty much made commitments with our guides and saying, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to experience. And because we're more than our physical body, then we've got a bigger consciousness, and we're just more intelligent. And just like when we come into a physical body, we've got to learn everything again. So we know very, very fast how much we want to experience, and it's just everything we want, really.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I mean, if Ruth wants to make contact with you, then I'm sure she'll be in touch, and if you don't mind, we'll give her your details.
That's fine, thanks.
Right, we've got 1 minute left. I've got one question from Kay. Okay, and basically she said that about 6 years ago she moved into the most beautiful house in a beautiful village. The people before us had bought the land and had built it to perfection. However, everything has gone wrong in her life since she moved there. Now, she said that she lives on glebe land. Now, she's not sure if living on glebe land has cursed her life. She said she's had bad luck for 1.5 years, even though she's sold the property. When will the sadness end? I really feel for Kay.
Same here. So I'm not a fully professional medium at the moment. I'm still fledgling, but it's best if you seek advice to someone who's more intuitive with that.
All right.
I can't answer that question though.
Okay, so if she gets in touch again, would you be able to give us details of somebody she could
definitely
contact?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Richard, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
It's been amazing.
Indeed.
Thank you.
And we're going to do it again in another month's time, and we hope that we get as many people contacting us again in a month. And thank you to everybody that's got in touch with us. It's obviously been a bit of an experiment, but I personally think it's been a a successful experiment, and I hope you've enjoyed it, Richard.
Yeah, I have actually. Thank you.
Excellent. You have to bring some music along next time.
I will, definitely.
Okay. Thank you very much, Richard.
Thank you.
And we're now going to play another track. This is Steely Dan. Any Major Dude Will Tell You, and that's directed to you, Richard.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.